If you don't think Tiny Fingers is losing it, you're either a Republican or you work for Fox News. But either way, he's going down.
Went up 25%. That's a lot.
Trump just said after getting shot, his ratings went up 25%. Does that mean if he got shot 3 more times, it would be 100?
That's a good one!
Trump's mental acuity is dropping like his pasty bum fat after peeling off his man girdle. And like many Americans, Grandpa Shit-My-Pants is struggling. But unlike most of those Americans, he's a dangerous sociopath who will attack anyone if it calms his insane urges.
Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power, you have to go by psychological quality, and psychological quality is a very important element of it.
The stories of the Holy Bible and the voices of famed evangelical.
When Tiny Fingers blamed the plane crash on DEI, that's diversity, equality, and inclusion, it wasn't just mean and wrong, it made no sense.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't.
Common sense? Today, Trump sounds like one of those old guys sitting in a Dunkin' Donuts at 7 a.m. talking about conspiracies and welfare queens.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the I'm talking about.
They're eating the dogs. Come on, that guy shouldn't be trusted to have a Facebook account, much less the nuclear codes. And it's getting worse. Trump has been documented lying over 40,000 times. 40,000? He's the Tom Brady of bullshit.
Tommy Tuberville, a great coach. You know, his quarterback was named Mahomes. He was a great college coach. And I said, how good was he? He said, you don't want to know how good. He made me into a great coach. He's pretty good quarterback, right? Yeah, he was very good.
Okay, this video tells you everything you need to know about Trump, Fox News, and the Republican Party. Patrick Mahomes was a great college player, but Tommy Tuberville never coached him. Not one play, not one snap. And Tuberville is sitting right there, nodding his head like it's true, because like every other Republican, he lacks either the balls, the patriotic duty, or the integrity to say, Mr. President, that never happened. I never coached Mahomes. I was busy turning condoms into Middle East IEDs.
We're all going to sit down and do a great, and bells would have gone off when that helicopter literally even hit the same height, because it traveled a long distance before it hit. It was just wouldn't stop. It was, follow the line. Privately, I use a system from another country because my captain tells me I'm landing in New York and I'm using a system. I won't tell you what country, but I use a system from another country because the captain says this thing is so bad, it's so obsolete, and we can't have that. So we're going to have the best system. And
seriously, can you follow that? Does it make sense? He sounds like an old man talking to a dog, and even the dog can tell something's wrong. Younger man, Trump was simply a malignant narcissist, but his cognitive decline changed the equation. When he lost in 2020, something snapped. He went from a confused senior to a geriatric raging bull.
she's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
But, and this is important, Trump's insanity reflects the integrity or lack thereof of his followers. Like Tommy Tuberville's refusal to correct Trump, the Republican Party has allowed his insanity to cast an ever-growing shadow over the country and has become the GOP legacy.
I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
Tariffs. To me, I think it's the most beautiful word in the dictionary. More beautiful than love.
As you know, RFK Jr. is a train wreck, but he's Trump's train wreck. He admitted to a worm eating his brain. He's paid off women who claim sexual assault. He says vaccines cause autism and chemicals in the water will make your kid gay.
There's atrazine throughout our water supply. Atrazine, by the way, if you in a lab put atrazine in a tank full of frogs, it will chemically castrate and forcibly feminize every frog in there. What does this do to sexual development in children? Nobody knows, because we know what it does to frogs.
Now, I wouldn't let that guy change a flat, much less be responsible for the health and safety of 300 million people. So the other day, when this Republican senator spoke of the dangers of putting this insane cockwaffle in charge of an entire healthcare system, well, it went as expected.
Now, the most notable opponents of Mr. Kennedy were pediatricians on the front lines of our children's health, who regularly have to combat misinformation, combating vaccine skepticism with correct information that comes from their education, their training, and experience as physicians. They are aware of the falling vaccine rates and the inevitability of increasing hospitalizations and deaths of children from vaccine-preventable diseases. They are aware that children are now contracting diseases that they would not have contracted if the child was vaccinated.
But after all that, after all those words,
I want Mr. Kennedy to succeed.
the admission that he's ill-prepared, he voted for his approval.
He and I can work together to build an agenda to make America healthy again.
So that begs the question, what's the greater danger? Trump's cognitive crash or the cowards who pretend they can't see it?
Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch. And the statement of Robert E. Lee, who's no longer in favor. Did you ever notice that? No longer in favor. Stand back and stand by. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow.
Trump can't even do his once favorite covfes without sounding like that guy wandering the streets talking about UFOs. Here, he can't even spell stolen.
Looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at USAID and other agencies, much of it going to the fake news media as a payoff for creating good stories about the Democrats. The left-wing rag known as Politico, it seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money?
Did USAID give millions to Politico or the New York Times? Come on. Of course, Fox News and other pencil-dick right-wing publications ran with it because it gives their slack-jawed base a stiffy, and that's their job, I guess. But I ask, who's worse, Trump or the right-wing media who use him like a 14-year-old boy with an old gym sock? I read where an Alabama legislator wanted to make it legal to have severely mentally ill children work in factories because you could pay them less. And that is a perfect metaphor for this MAGA Republican Party. He's right. America's now being led by a criminally insane, sociopathic, misogynistic, raping racist. And what are Republicans doing? Exactly.
Damn right.
Whether the women like it or not.
I'm as mad as hell.
Suck my fat one.
And this guy's personal life is a total disaster.
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Darren. Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes!
Tick-tock!
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.